speak English. So I think we're going to do English. I think I'm going to make sure everybody kind of understands. So welcome. My name is Arabelle Alva Rosales, and I am the CEO of Runway Latinx, and it all goes to benefit Pivoting in Heels. We've had 2 days of an event so far, and they've been very successful. For those of you that were here last night, I think you saw we had both rooms filled and upstairs too. And then we had a first night event at Lamborghini in the Gold Coast, and that was packed. Amazing designers and everything. So one of the designers that was with us yesterday and that showed is still here. Nina Carucci. So if you see the designs by the wall, you get a chance to take a look at them. He showed his designs last night. And on the break, David, thank you for being with us. Came in from LA. Thank you so much. Give him a big round of applause for staying with us. So I love you, David, because you're a partier, and yet you've been with us all the way through. So thank you so much for joining us and for coming in from LA. I know that you also come in for a lot of bridal shows and things like that, so people can order your clothes, right? Yeah, okay. Beautiful, beautiful dresses. Go online and follow us on runwaylatinx.com so you can see some of his designs. So very excited. Thank you so much for being here. So today, this is what we're going to do. I know some of you are a little bit hungry and very excited because we have 90 miles that are here. So we're going to get to taste some of their delicious food, and we'll do that in a little second. What I'm going to do first is we're going to start off with somebody. I'm going to introduce Sisiki Felix. A lot of you know her from Univision. She was formerly here with Telemundo as well. I'll introduce her, and then she's going to introduce an incredible two individuals that you'll get to meet, and you're going to get some tips from them. Then we're going to do a break, and we're going to get something to eat for about 15 minutes. You can bring the food back with you, and then we're going to do a panel that I think is going to be incredible. The panel is going to be talking about how can we as women have limitless power, be powerful, and yet at the same time still be very proud and feminine. All right? So I'm excited about it. I can't wait. And then at the very end, if some of you still hold out, I'm going to talk a little bit myself about always looking your best. How do you always look your best? So I'm going to give a few tips. Some of the people that are just starting out in their career, or some of the people that are going to be later. Are we about ready? You guys about ready? ¿Sí? Dígame que sí, oiga, ¿tienen energía? Algo así. Ok, me da gusto. Bueno, bienvenidos. Voy a empezar con presentarles a alguien, una amiga de hace mucho tiempo, muy reconocida aquí en Chicago. También ha estado en Washington, D.C., donde estuvo como correspondiente de Univision, y San Diego, y nos visita hoy aquí Sisiki Flores. Sisiki, ¿dónde está la bella Sisiki? Un aplauso para Sisiki. Hola.
Gracias, Arabel. Hermosa mi amiga, ¿cierto? ¿A poco no? Un fuerte aplauso para Arabel, por favor. Bella. Bueno, chicos, it's a pleasure for me to be here. It feels like Chicago. It's my home, to be honest with you. Many of you, I'm sure, watched Telemundo for a couple of times when I was anchoring the newscast, 5 and 10 p.m. And every time I get a chance to come to Chicago, I take it right away. And as soon as Arabel asked me to be here, it's my pleasure. I'm so happy. Hopefully, I get to say hi to every single one of you. And I love the fact that today we have a panel that we're going to be talking about empowerment and a few tricks of how to get ahead despite the circumstances. But right now, we have someone that empowers women by beauty, bringing it out, inside out. His name is Alex Lopez. I'm sure everyone knows him and the talent that he has. And of course, our beautiful Jennifer Peña. Un fuerte aplauso, por favor, para ellos. Adelante, chicos. We're going to see some magic happening today. So let's take some notes. Here you are, Alex.
Hola.
Toda tuya. Tuya.
Este para ella. Sí. Sí. Hola a todos.
Hi.
Hola, Jennifer. Mi nombre es Alex López. Tengo 27 años trabajando en la industria de la belleza aquí en Chicago. Actualmente tengo 15 años trabajando en Univision como maquillista oficial y también en WGN, en el Canal 9, y he tenido la oportunidad de maquillar a muchos artistas, a muchas celebridades, y eso es un privilegio para mí, trabajando en la industria de la televisión, maquillando. Y entonces, ahora nosotros estamos trabajando con la comunidad para ayudar a las mujeres a empoderarse, a sacar su belleza exterior y reflejarla para tener una belleza afuera. Entonces, yo tengo un ejemplo y tenemos muchas herramientas que podemos hacer, que ustedes pueden hacer como mamás o amas de casa o mujeres que trabajan, inclusive los hombres también, pero en este caso nos enfocamos porque mi trabajo es todas puras mujeres, entonces yo me enfoco en las mujeres. Entonces, yo tengo muchos ejemplos de clientas que tengo que han pasado por enfermedades, que han pasado por divorcios, separaciones, mujeres que han pasado por, que tienen trabajo y que tienen muchos hijos y tienen un trabajo. Entonces, la idea de nosotros es empoderarlas internamente para después exteriormente poderlo resaltar con la belleza. Entonces yo creo que ahorita hay muchas herramientas y es fácil que ustedes lo pueden hacer buscando opciones como por ejemplo en el internet. En el internet hay muchos tutoriales, en muchas formas en que ustedes pueden desde el vestido, desde del fashion hasta el cabello, el maquillaje. Hay muchas técnicas y herramientas en que podemos tener para encontrarlo. Inclusive también ahorita es más fácil poder encontrar esteticistas que se dedican a la piel, a las cejas, el cabello, el maquillaje y también el cuerpo. Hay muchísimos tratamientos para bajar de peso. Entonces tenemos que enfocarnos en esta tecnología que está ahora para que podamos hacerlo. Estoy muy feliz por estar con Jennifer Peña, que yo la admiro muchísimo desde hace muchos años, que su canción era una canción favorita que yo cantaba y escuchaba todos los días hasta el fin del mundo. Entonces cuando yo supe que iba a venir a Chicago, pues me volví loco, y luego cuando supe que le iba a maquillar, pues casi me desmayo, y ahora pues tuve el privilegio de tenerla aquí conmigo y que me cantara la canción. Entonces yo quiero que ella nos dé un ejemplo de cómo ella se ha empoderado haciendo mamá, siendo una mujer exitosa, que en su tiempo también estuvo siempre ocupada trabajando, pero se dedicó un tiempo a sus hijos, a su familia, pero ahora ya volvió a resurgir y ahora ella va a volver a estar en todas partes. Entonces, yo quiero que ella nos explique cómo ella pudo tener esa belleza interna y ahora, como la ven, una belleza externa.
Oh, Alex, you're so sweet. Thank you. No, he is the best. Can y'all hear me? Yeah? Okay, he's the best. I feel honored and no sé, cuidada. I feel very well taken care of when I'm with Alex Lopez. He makes me, look good. But, okay, so he wants me to share with you guys how I feel or how I do it to be empowered as a mom and also for and what did you say? And es que yo iba a traducir, but then he said so much, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Okay, so he just wants me to, I'm just going to talk a little bit. Okay, so he wants me to share with you guys how my outside and inside.
Pero ¿cómo crees tú que pueden ellas tener una belleza interna primero? ¿Cómo es que tú lo
La
tuviste?
belleza definitivamente es interior. We all know that beauty is more from the inside than on the outside, right? We can agree with that, right? Okay. I would say that mental peace is of utmost importance, especially at a time like this, especially at a time where social media is taking over even our confidence as women, and people try to kind of knock you down through that. Behind a screen, it's extremely easy to say things like, oh, your hair looks bad, or oh, you need to lose weight, or oh, that outfit is hideous, or things like that. It's not only is it rude, but it's an epidemic, and I think that most important is being able to protect yourself from that and the effects of what that can cause. So I've dealt with it since I was a little girl. I started in the industry at 11 years old. Obviously,
you wouldn't think that people would be hating on an 11-year-old little girl, but they did. Especially in the beginning of my career, there was a lot of hate, and it was ugly hate. And I cried for a very little while. And my mom told me, you got to build a thick skin. She said, because this is an industry where they're just always going to have something to say. And you're never, and she also taught me this too, you're never going to make everybody happy. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a really hard pill to swallow because I'm a people pleaser. I like to make people happy. I like being happy. I like to smile, and I like to laugh, and I like being happy. So therefore, I like to pass that on. I like to, transmit the same energy. So that was a hard pill for me to swallow, and it took a little bit of time, but not very much. Like I said, I cried very little in the very beginning, and once I began to learn that it's just the world we live in, and it's gotten so much worse today. Luckily, I feel that things are taking a turn, and that's why last night in my speech for my award, I said, las mujeres tenemos que empoderar una a la otra, ayudar una a la otra, levantar una a la otra. It's so important that we begin to change that mentality of, instead of the, bringing each other down and bashing each other and jealousy and all of that, we need to lift each other up. We need to encourage each other. We need to lift each other up and instead. So it's where we need to be, but we're on our way. I definitely see that we're making that change, and we are on our way. Falta un poquito, but we are on our way, and I'm seeing that positive change. So we're in the middle right now where I can both encourage women to continue moving forward in that direction, because we are going in a good direction, and at the same time acknowledge that it still exists, it's still there. I still see it on my social media every day, and I've just gotten to a point where I am all about my mental peace. I will block, I will erase, I will filter, I will do whatever it takes to protect my own mental peace. Most people, it's just an opinion. So it depends on how mean they do it or come across in their comments or whatever. I can completely respect an opinion that's different from mine. If somebody says that's not very becoming on you or something like that and chooses their words wisely, there's a difference. And as an adult, I can recognize that and I can accept that.
Claro.
It's a little different when you say something just plain ugly and mean and rude. I will do whatever it takes. Blocking, I have no problem. Men and women, and it's crazy. You guys want to know one thing? I'm not trying to I did Fuerte, la canción Fuerte. No sé si la han escuchado, pero la letra dice, subestimaste mi poder, se te olvidó que la que manda es la mujer. Y he visto tantos comentarios de parte de los hombres, guys. You would not believe the amount of comments I have gotten from men since I released Fuerte about just everything from, oh my gosh, what a stupid comment, to say that las mujeres mandan, or just straight up, you're ugly. And I have literally gotten to the place where I can laugh about it, or I can block.
Yeah.
It just, whatever it takes for me to, build that kind of wall around my own mind, heart, and spirit. I'm not in a place in my life right now where I am willing to let anybody mess with that. I don't care who you are, how close or how far you are. If I see something, and I feel that as women, we all need to do that. And I think that that's where the inner beauty reflects the outer beauty, and the outer beauty reflects the inner beauty, because it comes from a place of mental peace. And I'm not in a place where I'm going to let anybody mess with that. So it's like, whatever.
Sí.
I'm like, I do whatever it takes. I avoid people. I avoid places. And as far as the physical or whatever, I even avoid things that I like, foods that I like, that I wish I could eat every single day, but I can't, just because I don't, I want to feel like I'm doing, sometimes it takes a little more work. I want to feel like I'm doing what it takes to reflect that on the outside as well. So I will do whatever it takes to protect my mental peace and continue in the direction in whatever it is that makes me feel good. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty decent human being. I consider myself a very good person, and so if it feels right to me, I follow my instinct a lot. If it feels right to me, if it feels good to me, if it feels like it's going to make other people happy and reflect that good, positive energy to others, then that's what I want, and that's what I want to do. And if it doesn't, I don't want that around me, near me, or in my life.
¡Bravo! Ustedes se dan cuenta cómo ella interiormente es una mujer muy bella. Entonces ahora es lo mismo que ustedes y tienen las mismas oportunidades y ahora tienen las mismas herramientas porque tienen personas como ella que puede ser un ejemplo y que pueden transmitirlo a ustedes, o buscamos nosotros ayuda, no sé, con otra persona, amistades, en redes sociales, y podemos obtener la ayuda que necesitamos para poder internamente embellecernos y después lo vamos a reflejar, como ahora yo le hice un maquillaje muy sencillo, muy natural, y miren qué hermosa se ve. Entonces se dan cuenta que internamente y externamente es hermosa.
Hey, and you know what? I can say, I just talked about things that I omit from my life and block from my life and from my mind and from my heart and spirit. I also surround myself with really, really, really good people. I surround myself with people that encourage me and lift me up and make me feel good. Why wouldn't I? That doesn't speak anything about my lack of confidence or anything. That to me speaks on my smarts, on where I'm at right now in protecting my mental peace. I surround myself with only good people. And I'm not talking yes people, because I'm not saying I only surround myself with people who agree with me. I surround myself with good people who I know when they tell me something to correct or to critique me, that they're coming from a good place and that they're trying to protect me and lift me up and push me up, because that's all they want for me is the very, very best.
Exactamente.
Gente como Alex López.
Sí, entonces ahora ella tiene su canción que a mí me encanta. Estuvimos escuchando y sus nuevas canciones que vienen ahora están increíbles, y ya estoy esperando que salga tu nuevo sencillo para poder seguirte y para poder disfrutar de tu música, pero también yo las invito a ustedes.
Pero por ahora tienes a Fuerte, que es nuevecita.
Que esa es nueva y por eso pensamos traerla a ella, porque este es un ejemplo vivo de lo que nosotros necesitamos exponer aquí, cómo empoderarlas a ustedes, cómo poderlas ayudar para que ustedes puedan expresar su belleza exterior, poderla sacar y tener una belleza externa. Entonces ahora en este caso pues yo le hice un maquillaje muy sencillo a ella y miren qué linda se ve porque ya internamente está hermosa. Entonces le pusimos nada más poquito en la ceja, hacemos muy suave. Ahora se está usando la tendencia de ahora en ceja, es pelo a pelo, o si no nada más un sombreado pero muy suave. Las cejas que se usaban antes que eran muy gruesas o que eso ya pasó de moda. Ahorita está todo lo muy natural, la ceja, el maquillaje igual. Yo les recomiendo muchísimo el foundation, las bases de maquillaje, que busquen un color exactamente del color de su piel. Siempre un tip es de que busquen el color en esta parte de aquí, porque acuérdense que la mitad del cuerpo y de la cara pues es el cuello, ¿no? Entonces ahí pueden balancear los colores y pueden darse cuenta cuál realmente es su color natural. Yo les recomiendo personalmente una línea que pueden gastar un poquito más que las marcas comerciales, pero pueden utilizar Tom Ford, Chanel, Dior, que esas marcas son muy suaves y son hipoalergénicas y están hechas para pieles delicadas. Entonces ustedes pueden tener esa opción de buscar un maquillaje que sea más profesional, sí, en este caso.
Y definitivamente existen buenas marcas también que son un poquito
más,
I'm not gonna, hey, no quiero usar la palabra barata, pero menos caras.
Sí, pero eso fíjate que muchas veces como están formuladas y la gente tiene, todo el mundo tiene acceso, el problema de esos productos que tienen muchos ingredientes que son
Yeah.
para coberturas muy,
Yeah.
mucha gente que tiene muchos problemas en la piel, que tienen manchas, que tienen acné, que tienen marcas, entonces necesitan tener más cobertura, entonces esos productos, si ustedes tienen su piel delicada, y sobre todo pieles maduras, que son resecas, que tienden a tener arrugas, necesitan productos un poco más suaves y más delicados y estas compañías que son más profesionales las ofrecen, entonces por eso yo se las recomiendo.
Definitely. Alex is talking about how we have such amazing, brands with expensive products, and I'm talking about how, well, there are nice dupes out there too that are a little less expensive. He's saying there are ingredients in those products that do harm to our skin, but so he does recommend the higher end products. But like he's saying, we have a lot of tools at our fingertips today. The facial, what is the word? Techniques and processes?
Como procedimientos o técnicas para...
Are much more available to us today. I mean, I know you guys have noticed the esthetician, I'm like, maybe the most sought out field today.
Claro.
But yeah, there's a lot of products at our fingertips and a lot of procedures that are natural and creams and, high-end things that can help us to feel most confident too. If it is something that is physical, that helps you to feel confident, do that.
Claro.
Do that.
Inclusive ahí es importante también que ustedes, antes de que tengan una rutina de maquillaje o que comiencen su rutina, tienen que saber que tienen que cuidarse la piel, tienen que utilizar limpiadores, tienen que
Definitely
utilizar
have to
cremas
take good
hidratantes,
skincare.
tienen que utilizar productos que sean hidratantes sobre todo para la piel, para protegerlo, igual los primers. Si ustedes no se
Absolutely.
ponen un primer cuando comienzan el maquillaje, ese maquillaje no va a tener una buena cobertura y no va a ser el mismo trabajo que hace el maquillaje cuando es
Yeah.
profesionalmente. Entonces,
Skincare is actually really important.
Sí.
There was a while there that I had kind of lost the routine. Was there a question? When I had lost the routine for a little bit, and I saw a difference. And when I started a skincare routine again, I immediately noticed a difference. It's just something routine, even if it's a moisturizer or a serum or whatever, but you will see a difference when you take the time and actually put in the effort. It's like you have to put in effort or sacrifice or whatever it is to make something. We are in charge of our lives and our surroundings. We have the ability to choose what we do and don't do, what we do and who we do and do not surround ourselves with, and so on and so forth. So again, we have the tools at our fingertips. We just need to use them and become routine in using them and utilizing
sí.
them
Y,
for our better.
y al final de cuentas, ahorita también igual las pestañas, ahorita es un complemento. Recuerda que las pestañas son como el vestido del ojo. Eso, si no tienes pestañas, a mí cuando viene alguien, una clienta o una persona, y me dice, ¿me puedes maquillar? Y me pagan, y me dice, no me pongas pestañas, maquíllate tú sola, porque en realidad eso es algo básico que le da la forma al ojo, que te da el boom al maquillaje, que dices, el makeover son las pestañas.
Yeah.
Entonces, es importante que ustedes aprendan a saber las diferencias, los tipos de pestañas,
Yeah.
las calidades, los materiales, la
And to
aplicación,
do what
los
works for
pegamentos.
you. And to do what works for you, because Alex is also like he says, if somebody asks for no eyelashes, he's like, well, then you do it yourself, because he's saying that eyelashes are such a huge part of our makeup look. It really kind of pulls everything together. But you also, he's also very, he'll do what you ask. And so again, eyelashes have become all the rage now. There are so many different, and we're just going to talk about eyelashes for a little bit. There are so many options when it comes to eyelashes. You find something that works for you. You don't have to have the big, huge eyelashes. You don't have to have the long one. You can get the natural ones. There's extensions. There's the magnetic ones. There's the glues. There's the little itty bitty ones. I mean, anything you want, and we have all of those tools at our fingertips. Why not Like, why not use them, especially if it gives you a little boost of confidence, if it makes you feel prettier, if it makes you, women especially, that's instilled in us from little. My daughters began to want to use makeup, and not just because they saw their mom, because they were walking and, you know, doing runway walks, all that. When they were itty bitty, girls, we like to feel pretty. Men like to feel comfortable and confident. Everybody wants to feel that. And men have plenty of tools at their fingertips too. So why are we not comfortable in using them? Maybe because we have people around us who are so quick to be like, oh, well, she's got fake eyelashes on. So go get some too, and maybe you'd be a little bit happier and you wouldn't be hating on me for having some fake eyelashes. Whatever, like why? It's just where we are today. It's all more accepted, more natural. Everybody does whatever they, you know, need or want to make them feel confident, and why not? If that makes you feel better, if it makes you feel prettier, if it makes you feel more confident, more comfortable, it's still you. It's not changing who you are, right?
Exactamente.
Does it make me any different inside because I have fake eyelashes on today? Or if I did choose to wear them every single day of my life, so that doesn't change who I am, and it doesn't change my heart, and it doesn't change who I am as a person. That's most important.
Yeah.
Not even mental peace.
Sí. Y también
Not
otra,
even mental peace. Be loving.
Sí, otro
Be
tip
good.
es que está muy de moda
Ay, perdóname,
tener
te
está muy de moda los contornos. Los contornos
Yes.
es hacer una cirugía sin bisturí con
Contouring.
tus brochas, y eso lo haces igual aprendiendo las técnicas, porque
Yes.
eso vas a poder cambiar la morfología de tu rostro. Se llama visajismo, que el visajismo estudia las formas que podemos darle a la cara, y eso
optical
crea una visión óptica. Si tú tienes un bronzer, solamente para hacer el contorno necesitas un bronzer café, o puedes ir a la tienda y te pueden recomendar algún color específico para que puedas resaltar. Tiene que ser 2 tonos más oscuros de tu piel. Haces la parte de la mejilla, haces la frente, haces la parte de la nariz, también puedes hacer la nariz más pequeña, y eso te da una visión óptica que la cara se te ve un poco más estilizada. Entonces,
Yeah.
yo creo que es una buena idea. Y también el cabello. El cabello tiene que ser un poco wave. Ahorita está muy de moda los waves, los Hollywood
waves
waves
are
sueltos.
definitely-
No está ya eso de que los rizos así como de antes, o como el cabello muy liso, eso está un poquito fuera de moda. Ahorita lo que está de moda es el cabello, un wave muy suelto, como un Hollywood wave, y mucho volumen.
Así.
Como el tuyo, exactamente.
This is like de moda.
De
guys.
moda, exacto. Y sí, yo estoy muy contento de estar este día hoy en especial, porque está Jennifer aquí. Ella viene de Texas. También tengo a mis amigas que vienen de Madison, que son trabajan conmigo. En Madison tenemos un salón. Y también viene mi amigo Cantú, que él es un maquillista, es un estilista también, que tiene su línea de productos que son excelentes para el cuidado de del cabello, perdón. Y también vienen sus fans de ella, que la siguen por muchas ciudades, vienen desde Texas y vienen de otras ciudades. Entonces, hoy tenemos mucha gente que viene de muchos lugares, que vienen a escucharnos, a vernos, a apoyarnos, y quiero que les den un aplauso y quiero darle las gracias.
Yes.
Y muchas
It's been
gracias.
awesome.
Sí.
Alex has always made me feel so comfortable when he does my makeup, especially because, like I said, he's very willing to adapt to everybody who he's doing, what makes them comfortable, because we're all unique. We all have our thing that makes us comfortable. I will not let anybody do my eyebrows. That's my thing. I'm like, I won't let anybody touch my eyebrows. I do them, and then, I'll let them touch up.
Gracias.
But he does that. He gives us that kind of space too. So I always love working with Alex. It's been a pleasure getting to know your friends that have joined us today, and my awesome fans that have come to join us. I know you've
Thank you.
gotten
Gracias.
to meet them too. Gracias, Alex.
Gracias. Entonces les damos las gracias. Síganos en nuestras redes sociales. Si tienen preguntas, si tienen dudas, si quieren saber algo, con confianza me pueden buscar en redes sociales. Estoy como en Instagram como Alex López Salón Chicago o Alex López Salón Madison, y también me pueden buscar en todas las plataformas donde yo estoy en redes sociales. Me pueden buscar, y cualquier pregunta que tengan, igual a Jenny, por
Any
favor,
questions?
síganla y escuchen su música,
Yeah.
y bailen y canten y
Any
disfruten.
questions, you guys can
Gracias.
follow us on our social media.
Un aplauso con más ganas, por favor. Gracias, increíble.
Gracias.
Gracias, Alex. Bueno, ¿les gustó? Did you like it? Yes? Did you learn something? All right, good. I love that. Good, good. Well, I think it's time to take a little break. We're going to get a little something to eat. But before that, I do want to ask Dominica Millo's here. You want to stand up, Dominica? Dominica is Miss Chicago from last year. And she is actually running for Miss Illinois, right? When is the contest? November 10th. Can we vote for you, by the way, or how does that work? No, we can't vote. The judges, okay. Well, we think you should win. Dominica, you want to, yes, we think you should win. You want to tell us your social media real quick?
Self-reflect. You can probably hear me better now.
Yeah.
But mental health, mental peace. So I am here to have a voice for people who don't talk about it. And that's why I'm here to empower, uplift, and inspire all of you here right now, and hopefully all of Illinois. So thank you.
Thank you. So let's take a break. 90 Miles is here. Thank you so much, Alberto. Thank you. The owner came, ladies and gentlemen, today to be with us. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's take like a 10, 15-minute break, and then you can bring the food back, and we're going to start with the second panel.
Right.
Okay? Thank you.
I'm ready now. Electricity, I'm flying into you. Think electric, baby. So electric, baby. Wanna let you know, let you know. Think I'm ready, baby. Think I'm ready now. Electricity, I'm flying into you. Even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you, you know. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities that look like all you need. Let me take the night, I love real easy. wanna feel your skin on mine. Feel your eyes do the exploring. Passion in the message when you smile. Take my time. It's something in you. Lit up heaven in me. The feeling won't let me sleep. 'Cause I'm lost in the way you move, the way you feel. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities. I look like all you need. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities. I look like all you need. See wonderland in your eyes. Might need your company tonight. Something in you. Lit up heaven in me. The feeling won't let me sleep. 'Cause I'm lost in the way you move, the way you feel. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities. I look like all you need. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities. I look like all you need. You call me all friendly, telling me how much you miss me. That's funny, I guess you've heard my songs. Well, I'm too busy for your business. Go find a girl who wants to listen. 'Cause if you think I was born yesterday, you have got me wrong. So I cut you off, I don't need your love. 'Cause I already cried enough, I've been done, I've been moving on. Since we said goodbye, I cut you off, I don't need your love. So you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. 'Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. I remember that weekend when my best friend caught you creeping. You blamed it all on the alcohol. So I made my decision, 'cause you made your bed, sleep in it. Play the victim and switch your position. I'm through, I'm done. So I cut you off, I don't need your love. 'Cause I already cried enough, I've been done, I've been moving on. Since we said goodbye, I cut you off, I don't need your love. So you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. 'Cause if you think I care about you now, well boy, I don't give a fuck. I see you trying to get to me, I see you begging on your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. So stop trying to get to me. Get up off your knees. 'Cause boy, I don't give a fuck about you. No, I don't give a damn. You keep reminiscing on when you were my man, but I'm over you. Now you're all in the past. You talk all that sweet talk, but I ain't coming back. Cut you off, I don't need your love. So you can try all you want. Your time is up, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You say I'm sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. Too late now. 'Cause if you think I care about you now, well, boy, I don't give a fuck. Boy, I don't give a fuck. I see you trying to get to me. I see you begging on your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. So stop trying to get to me. Get to me. Get up off your knees. Boy, I don't give a fuck. It was great at the very start. Hands on each other. Couldn't stand to be far apart. Closer the better. Now we're picking fights and slamming doors. Magnifying all our flaws. And I wonder why. Wonder what for. Why we keep coming back for more. Is it just our bodies? Are we both losing our minds? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Do we need somebody just to feel like we're alright? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Too much time losing track of us. Where was the real? Undefined, spiraling out of touch. Forgot how it feels. All the messed up fights and slamming doors. Magnifying all our flaws. And I wonder why, wonder what for. It's like we keep coming back for more. Is it just our bodies? Are we both losing our minds? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Do we need somebody just to feel like we're alright? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Scared to be lonely. Even I was just sitting here thinking.
Okay, everyone. Has everyone gotten something to eat? Great. If you want a little bit more, you can bring it to your chair, and we're getting ready to get started. So I'm going to ask our panelists to please come up here and sit down. I know a few people are still running around all over. Come on up. Do you like the food? Yes. You feel better now? I feel better. I needed to eat. And wonderful food always makes me feel better. So one of the things we try to do with Runway Latinx now is we say fashion, gastronomy, mixology, and entertainment. So we try to do a little bit of all of it. And again, all of it goes to benefit Pivoting in Heels. So again, thank you so much for your support and for being here today. So the next panel, or the next part of the event that we're going to do, for me is a very important part. Especially as a woman that is involved. I'm actually a CEO of a technology firm that I've had for many years. And I've got a legal background. I'm a lawyer by profession. So in a lot of instances, I deal with what is very much a man's world. Actually, what a lot of people don't even know is the fashion world is very much a man's world. It's dominated by mostly men, not women. Women do the modeling and the makeup part and everything, but a lot of the ones that are producers, even like the event that we do, most of them are men. A lot of the colleagues that I deal with, even on the production side, at the level that we do it, are men. And I want you to know that Runway Latinx, what's really neat, although we have predominantly Latino designers that we show, it is considered in the Midwest one of the most influential fashion weeks in the whole Midwest. So you should all be very proud of yourselves, and we're proud of ourselves as well. I did, before I go on a little bit further, again, Alberto, gracias, 90 Miles, thank you for the wonderful food. We're really grateful. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, it was really good. Jennifer, you didn't get a chance
Save
to
me some.
Save me some, yeah. I know, get to eat. So, thank you for that. And then I want to thank my team, who really, without our team, we couldn't do it. So I know Nikki, you got to meet in the front. A lot of you, heard from her. Manny, who's been running around, has been doing the communications for us. And then we have 2 interns that have been involved with us now. We actually pay our interns. We've done it for a long time. It's part of the program with Pivoting in Heels. But they get hands-on. They literally walk in and they don't get coffee for us. They get their hands dirty, they work, they get involved with production and everything else. So if you have any of your kids that are, wanting to go into a certain career, send them to me, because we'll get them trained, and then we help actually get them jobs as well. And it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but I think that the only way that you can learn something is to get your hands in it. So I think that's very important. Jeanette is here today. Jeanette handles my money. She's my money person, bookkeeper. Thank you, Jeanette. I think money's very important. I want women to learn how to make as much money as you can, because that's really the way you obtain your power. Then nobody can tell you what to do, right? Get your money. So, but I want to thank all of our team and all the volunteers. I know you've seen volunteers running around and supporting us. And this location, Sin City, they've been fantastic to us. Stan Wozniak, who runs it, is a very close friend of mine, and me siento en mi casa. I feel like I'm at home, and I hope all of you do too. So let's get started with our panel. So what I'm going to do is I'll say their names, but then I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves a little bit on their own. About a minute or two, give us a short background on yourself. So I'm going to go around first, and then we'll start it with the 2-minute introduction. First, Jasleen Gonzalez, who a lot of you know as America's Next Top Model from season 8. Jaslene and I have known each other for quite a few years. I love her and all that she's done with her career. Give her a big round of applause, please. No need to introduce you. We introduced you earlier, and you're amazing, and everybody knows you as well, and we're going to get to hear from you. You are our awardee from last night. We got to give her the Pivoting as a Star Award. Jennifer Pena, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure being here.
Thank you. And then Sisiki Flores. Sisiki, thank you so much for being with us. Award-winning correspondent and journalist, and is going through many changes in her career, but she's always going up, like all these 3 women, and like all of you, always going up. So Jeslie, just give us a quick little introduction so that people get to know you just a little better.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm better known as America's Next Top Model winner, but I'm also an actress, and I am the founder of Onset with Jaslene. It's an empowerment course, youth-led empowerment course that develops and nurtures in the areas of modeling and personal development, followed up by a high-end photo shoot.
Ooh. And I'm hoping before, or maybe at the very end, maybe you give us 1 or 2 tips at the very end of how to strike a pose.
You got it.
Okay, great. I love it. I love it. We all need it, right? So,
Yes, I was
Jennifer.
going to say I could have used that last night, but maybe for next year. Just kidding. I'm Jennifer Pena. I'm a singer and a mom, and that's my most important job. But I'm a singer and a mom, and I am recently returning to the music industry with new music, and have made it part of my mission to empower and lift up women and everybody, as many people as I can.
And Jennifer Pena is a mom to 5 children. Like, I mean, I yesterday when you were wearing that dress, she had a designer, Carmen Seminario dress that was to die for, but
Oh, it was beautiful.
the body on you, oh my goodness, incredible.
thank you.
I don't know how you do
Thank
it,
you.
but you do it all well.
Thank
So.
you.
Huh?
We gotta give us, we
We gotta get
Give that
Yeah.
trip.
Gracias. Yo me llamo Cecilia Félix. Como les comenté anteriormente, soy periodista. He estado en algunos medios, tanto en Univisión como en Telemundo. Así como conocí a Arabel. And I'm very excited because a lot of changes are coming in the journalism world. Right now, as you can see, a lot of things are happening with the digital era, the information and the podcasts and everything. So I decided to take a quick break, as Arabel was mentioning, a very short break this year. I'm launching a couple of podcasts as well as a multimedia platform that gathers the most important facts from news. So instead of just reading sometimes press releases or getting one-sided information, which is sadly what happens recently, I want to make sure, and I'm in the process of creating this platform that provides the hacks and the tools for Latino immigrants in the U.S. So that's pretty much what I can say. And I'm happy to be here in Chicago for a couple of days.
I love it. So let's give them a big round of applause. So this is a turn of events for Sisiki, because she usually has us on the hot seat, and she's usually asking the questions. So now I get to ask the questions. This is going to be fun.
I'm shaking.
You know what? And our main goal here is we're going to talk of empowerment also, but really from the perspective of career. Creating abundance in business for yourselves and how you've handled it in, a lot of times a male-dominant arena. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to spread around the questions. So I'll ask each of you, not the same question. I'm going to kind of jump around and ask of you individual questions so that we get a little bit of uniqueness. It's going to be a little hard with you, Jennifer, because we heard a lot of your story, but we'll see. We're going to we want to know some more secrets. We want the secrets, secret sauce for each of your success. So to start off with that, why don't we start with one of yours, Sisiki? Let's start with this. So tell us, what is one secret weapon that you bring into most professional environments to be successful?
I think resilience and adaptability, and that should be everywhere. In a relationship, friendships, a new job, because every single job is very different. And I found myself that depending on the city that I have a contract on and I have to live there, recently I realized that every single place with a different people, different culture, and different mentality, it's up to you to change and to adapt, not wanting to have your surroundings change for you. And I think that makes it a lot easier for your career.
No, I love it because all of it starts with us, right? It's not the other way around. So I love that you had that perspective, and it seems to have worked very well for you throughout the years. So Jasleen, could you talk a little bit about, describe a challenging situation that you've been in that has been really difficult with a lot of negative energy, and how have you turned that into a positive, hopefully professional opportunity?
Personal or professionally?
I'll let you, no, let's do professional. Let's do professional.
Professionally, a challenge that I faced throughout my career. I think that the modeling career in itself is challenging. To have longevity in the modeling world is that in itself is a journey. I would say that having perseverance to continue to push forward has been a challenge for me. Because you get older and you start feeling like you're not as hot, as spicy as I used to, feel. And,
I think you're very hot. I think you're very hot, right? I mean, gorgeous.
I just feel like you're trying to stay with the trends of modeling. But, that's, okay, it's a bit superficial. Let me just say something. Let me start off, I guess this is pretty deep already. I didn't want to start off deep, but we're gonna get deep.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just gonna, let me just go there. So one of my personal challenges, I would say, I ended up going to India to work as an international model. And when I was in India, I ended up staying there for 2 months. And in my last month, I ended up getting something on my skin, like an inflammation on my skin. And I didn't know what it was. It was the first time ever seeing that on my skin. I kind of ignored it too. And it was literally all over. I looked like a leopard.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
when I returned to the States, I didn't know how to deal with that. Again, I was ignoring it until I realized that it was slowly working against my career. It was damaging my state of mind. I ended up falling into depression, isolation, and identity crisis because of it.
How long ago was this?
So this was back in 2012.
Okay.
And when I decided to look into the skin issue, it was eczema that I had gotten while I was in India. And I eventually just decided to go into this self-empowerment transformation. And I turned to God because there wasn't literally not a single ounce in me to love myself. It was too depressing. It was too challenging for me to do it by myself. So I looked out to God, to someone outside, and I put my faith in that. And then my journey began of discovering my inner beauty and having greater influence through my inner beauty than my exterior beauty. And I've been healed from that, my whole eczema situation. So I have a long testimony in regards to how that was challenging, but I also have this beautiful blessing in saying that I've been comforted. I've been transformed and
Love that. Don't we love that? Let's
Yeah.
give her a big round of, thank you for sharing that with us. Because it sounds like such a deep healing that you had to go through. And I love that so much because, one of the things, the whole theme of the event is the ritual of fashion. But I'd like for people to really think of fashion, not just something that's exterior, but something that's interior. So, for example, even when we put on a pink dress, right? it's not about the dress that makes it beautiful. It's about you feeling beautiful in pink. You feeling beautiful in pink, or you feeling beautiful in whatever you put in, right? So that's kind of the thought. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate that you shared a part of your journey. And I've known you for a long time, and you've got such a powerful personality, and I'm so glad to hear that one of the things I believe in is that God, the universe, whatever, puts these challenges in front of us so we can grow and so we can learn. So thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jennifer, we heard of some of the challenges that you had when you were a child and everything. And now as an adult, can you tell us, what do you use to motivate yourself? Is it affirmations? Is it meditation? Is it other people? What do you use to motivate yourself when you feel very down and when you've been really challenged? And all of us have those days when sometimes we don't want to get up. I don't know about you, but we're tired, or we're tired of the world, or esta mañana. Bueno, pero that was for another reason. No, just kidding. At least for me, it was for another reason. But Jennifer, tell us, what do you use, to kind of motivate yourself or push yourself forward when you've got a challenging situation in front of you?
I definitely do a lot of positive self-talk. It's definitely, first of all, if I've done it before, I know I can do it again. If I've experienced it before, I know I can experience it again. And but my biggest motivation, I have to say, is my kids. Honestly, in my darkest moments, I didn't have a choice. My biggest priority in life is to be a good mom. So as much as I may have ever wanted to crawl into a hole and not ever come out, I have kids I needed to feed and clothe and all of that. And I just couldn't bring myself to not be there for them, because that is my biggest priority. My biggest goal in life is to be a good mom.
How old are your kids?
My kids are 15, 7, 6, 4, and 3.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Close to that. That's incredible.
So
Yeah.
I would say that they are definitely my biggest motivation, but there is definitely a lot of positive self-talk, and I try to keep negative self-talk to a absolute minimum. I joke. I can make jokes or whatever. I also have a sense of humor, so I can make a joke and it may reflect, but I know that it doesn't. It's not how I really feel about myself inside.
So the self-talk, I'm curious. So are these like affirmations, and do you say them to yourself in the morning when you wake up? Do you look in a mirror like throughout the day and talk back to yourself, or how do you?
No,
What's the self-talk?
and
Share with us.
Fuerte really does talk a lot about that. One thing is definitely my faith. So I just talk to myself. If there's a tough moment, if I'm uncomfortable at any moment, it's like I don't want to do this. I don't feel comfortable, but I'm a grown up. One, I'm soy mujer. 2, I'm strong. 3, and I really believe those things. I believe that. I believe that I'm strong enough to overcome and get through anything that life throws at me, because I also believe that God does not give any of us more than we can ever handle. So I always
Amen
go back
to that.
I
Yeah.
always go back
Yes.
to, if He's giving it to me, then I definitely can get through it. 1, and 2, there is a lesson and there is a purpose in this. If there is not a lesson, then there is a purpose. But I always try to take that lesson and see and see how I really tuck it away and see how I can apply it later on in life, because later at some point that lesson is going to come up. Oh, from past experience, I already know that this is not good for me. From past experience, I already know that I don't like this. From past experience, I'm going to, like I said earlier, remove myself from the situation or guard myself from this mentally.
It
Because
sounds like you're really following your gut too. It sounds like
absolutely,
Yes.
but I also believe, I call it discernment. I believe that women have that instinct, but I also believe that God guides us in that, and He does give us that discernment and
100%.
that,
I agree.
that ability to decipher
Yeah.
gut from his guidance and good from bad.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. How many of you ladies out there follow your gut? You feel comfortable following your gut? I love it.
I want to cry seeing that.
So important.
Good.
No, I think it's great. I'm going to talk about something that I know a lot of times women especially feel uncomfortable talking about it. Men and women, but women especially, about money. I'm going to talk a little bit about money. All three of you are kind of business women because you're running your careers and everything else. And the idea of abundance to me is very important. You know, I want everybody to live an abundant life. And that, to me, abundance, happiness, joy, but it also is in regards to wealth, to abundance, to money. I want us to have money, ladies. I think it's very important to have our own, as I mentioned earlier. So, Sisiki, you're going through a major career change in the sense that you're looking at different opportunities and everything, right? Talk to me a little bit about what you do mentally to help you create abundance in your life. Are you always looking for opportunities? Do you surround yourself with certain people? Talk a little bit share that with us. Give us a little bit of that secret sauce.
We all go through phases, different phases in life, and it can be personal relationships, it can be career decisions, and each phase in our life, it's different from one another. It can be positive, it can be negative. For instance, in my case, when I find myself that I'm doing too much, it drains me and slows me down. So what I have to end up doing many times is to choose and be careful who I give my time to, which is what I'm doing right now. You know, between the business aspect, the podcasts, the book that I need to finish, when I disperse myself and I make it very thin, you don't end up advancing the way you're supposed to. And I make that mistake many times. You know, I give my time to certain people that if it's not my family, then it's not necessarily that important. If it's not my mom, my dad, my sisters, my cat, got a stinky cat waiting for me sometimes too, then I need to recharge my batteries. And I think that is very important. I need to say no more than saying yes to things. We end up many times overwhelmed by doing many things. And I find myself in that aspect because I'm a doer. And when I do that, I find it very difficult to focus. But if you're able to focus and do certain things the right way, abundance is natural. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to call for it. I think it's being focused, and being determined about the goals that you're doing instead of spreading yourself everywhere. That helps.
So with regards to abundance, so with regards to wealth, so to get focused, how do you get focused? How do you decide what to get focused on?
I write every night what I'm doing the next day, for instance. And if the same lists keeps coming up, one or two words or phrases by the end of the month, those are my focus. That's an important part of my life that I need to be more attached to, that I need to pay more attention to. So if you see a pattern and every day, all the lists that you're making to achieve the next day, your goals, and there is one thing that keeps standing out, that's the thing that for me, it's the thing that I need to focus on and make sure that I spread, everything else, not that important.
And it sounds like you're in a position where you feel instead of always going after, you're attracting. Yes. Right. Okay, great. I love that. So be clear, just to summarize, be clear about what you want, especially regarding money, because I think you have to be very clear. And one of the ways that you do it is by scripting at night. And then what keeps coming up for you are the things that you highlight and that are important. Yeah. And then that's what you go after. So, Jasleen, similar question, because I know you've started a business. Well, your business is a lot of different facets, but tell us a little bit with the new business that you have. How do you attract abundance there? What is your plan of action, young lady?
Well, I guess I'm like the spiritual one because I had to do like some, inner work. So I would say that abundance obviously comes from my God, I believe that his characteristics brings abundance to me. Living in that life, living in the Holy Spirit, I bear fruit. And those fruits allow me to cultivate what is good in my life, right? So I think we need to focus on what's good in your life already and keep building, and you will be so surprised at the rewards that you get in return. So Onset with Jocelyn is a 10-year business, and I'm still building, and I haven't reached all my financial goals yet, but I have received a wealth of, I have a great reputation, for instance. I can build easy teams, easily because of the foundation that I have, the structure that I have. All these things took little steps, but they were all good steps that are leading to big results.
Very important. I have to tell you, I think that's extremely important in any career or in any area that you want to build wealth. Sometimes you can get money that comes to you very quickly. But honestly, if you don't follow through on the commitments that you make and follow through on the foundations, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't happen overnight. You have to work really, really hard for what you want. And trust me, whatever is hard is worth doing. Whatever is easy, guess what? Is going to be taken away easy. But what you work hard for, no one can take away from you.
I love that. Big round of applause for all of these answers. I think they've been amazing. So Jennifer, you're making a major pivot in your life, your career. You've had it ongoing, but now you're coming out, and you're recording and everything else. On these major pivots, because we all have them in our life, right? How do you decide which way to go? Do you consult with a small group of people? I know you mentioned following your gut, but what are some of the things, because I know I've learned a lot that the people that you have around you, many times dictate, what's going to be going on in your life around you. Dime con quién te juntas, te diré quién eres. Don't tell me who you hang out with, and I'll let you know who you really are. So is it that, or what are some of the other tools that you use to make a decision on some of the major pivots that you're doing?
I think, well, there are several factors. Definitely, my gut and discernment, which comes from our God, and how whatever decision will affect my children. So it's like order of priority, God,
Okay,
children.
got it.
And I do, as far as my career goes, I do have a small team of people that I know I don't know everything, and especially because I've been out of the music for so long, it's all kind of like it's coming back to a new industry. The industry has changed so much over the past years as well that I know I am not like, I've had the success story before, but it is not to say that I'm due the success now, one, or two, that I know the formula to the success today. It's very different, and so I definitely have a small team of people that we discuss things, and it's a matter of course correction. I'm like a task person. I make lists, and I reverse engineer. It's like, this is what I want, and what does it take to get there?
I love that. No, that's very critical. That's very important.
And then
the
kind of
reverse
working
engineer.
backwards and like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's reverse engineer. We want deadlines, because if you don't set deadlines for yourself, you will not do it. I mean, because life will take over. And you'll push back and push back and push back and push back, and then it'll just never happen. So it's reverse engineering too. So I want to do this. I'm going to set a deadline for myself. I want to do it by this date. If so, what does it take to get, and what deadlines do I have to set before then to get that final goal?
And as part of that, I don't know for me, but part of that for me is also that I can help decide what kind of team I need to surround myself with, right?
And that's what it comes down to. I am surrounded by a team that I do trust, and we're all working together, learning together, and growing together, and that's super important for me right now.
I love it. I love it. I don't know about you ladies, but one of the things that happens with me is once I set a goal and I do the scripting, and I do reverse engineering too, but then all kinds of things that you want and need for that to happen start popping up. It's like your brain starts noticing all the things that you need to achieve your goals. So I love it. All right, I want to talk a little bit, because we are women and we should, take care of ourselves and do self-care and pamper. A lot of times we don't. We overwork ourselves, because we are all high achievers. But Sisiki, share with us one or two things that you do to kind of recoup that energy, to feel strengthened and empowered. Sometimes you said you have to pull back a little bit. But
Many times.
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes, many
exactly,
times.
many times.
I was just talking to Alberto about the need that we have for not just taking a step back, right? I find that in my career. I was in Washington, D.C. for about 8 years, and I had a political show that really, really drained me. I came home every night, 9 p.m. I was exhausted because having conversations with these politicians and trying to get the answers and not getting the answers, and then knowing that the production was not going to be great, it was draining. And then the next morning, getting the tweets from President Trump, and then getting the war, it was crazy.
Doing it all over again.
Doing it all over
Next
again
day.
the next day, and then another event, and another luncheon, and a speaking engagement. I found myself later, and I'm talking about a few years later, that we make a mistake of not taking care of our mind, right? I mean, like we exercise, and we put makeup on, and we look good, but at the end of the day, our mind is paying the price. And what I had to do is take a break from the newscasts, and it was about 2 weeks, and that's what I've been doing every year since then. So I do a retreat. I like doing yoga, and I take a retreat in different places without the phone, places that ideally you don't have an access, nobody can reach out to you, and you just...
Is that when I can't reach you?
That's exactly when I can, yes, no answering phones or anything. I find that very important. Some people even, they do retreats of, ¿cómo se le llama esos retreats, retiros que, blind, de oscuridad, darkness, right, for a few days. Silence retreats. I haven't done those, but I know that those are the things that sometimes we do need to implement in our lives to take care of our mind. Because if we don't have the mind working properly, nothing's gonna work. Doesn't matter the most beautiful body, the most beautiful face, our mind has to be in top shape.
Like the monks do,
Yeah.
right? Like the monks do. Become a monk for a couple of days. Hadn't thought of that one, but that would be interesting.
Yes, it would.
Thank you for that. Jasleen, could you share with us, and I don't know if you have that, but a daily or at least a weekly ritual that you do
Yeah.
that is considered kind of a self-care for yourself?
Absolutely. So having to see the inner part of me crumble down, I had to build a new foundation within myself, and that consists of worship, prayer, reading. I green juice, which is something that in my Latino culture, no one's teaching me how to do spinach, cucumber, and ginger drinks, So I'm really grateful to be implementing.
burlan.
Yeah, they're like, what is that for? Oh, it's nasty.
Solamente las vacas comen eso.
Sí, ¿verdad? So, I really love a good, I have 2 green juices that I do every day. So I do that. I'm into Pilates.
Will you give us, the recipe?
The recipes?
For the,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really want it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we really want
So these are going to transform your skin.
Okay, take out your phone.
Okay, so as you know, I had the skin issue, so I really did my research on this, and I've seen results. So my first one is you need a juicer for this one. I do kale, spinach, and chard. Those are your greens. Then I do carrot, apple, ginger. Carrot, ginger.
Do you use beets?
Nope, and that's it. Okay? So all that together, juice it. My second juice is simple as spinach, avocado, kiwi, and coconut water. That one is a blender one. Okay, you blend that one. You got it? Recorded? Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, they're so
Sounds
good.
really good.
They're
All
really
right.
good.
No more drinking liquor. We're going to drink this.
Podemos hacer un smoothie con vodka y...
Ah, sí, sí. I think
Le
the
metes tequilita y listo.
What
no hay
about if we
problema.
do a vodka smoothie juice?
I think
We'll just add a little
vodka
something
beet
to it.
juice. Hey,
the kiwi one is possible.
Si hacemos un smoothie con vodka y beets, is it healthy?
no.
Kidding.
Here we're trying to stretch it.
It may not work. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it may not.
I don't know. It may not.
Probably not.
Thank you for
Pretty
that.
sure it
Thank you for
won't.
that.
Absolutely.
Everybody got that? If not, she's going to be, Jasleen will be around and you can ask her, but that's
I'll
fantastic.
blog about it one day.
Yes,
Follow
blog
my
about it.
social media.
Yes, yes, yes. And by the way, we are recording. We're recording live, so you can go back on YouTube and you can look up Runway Latinx and it'll be there. So you'll be able to. We did last night as well, and we did the first night as well. So we'll be able to do that. So Jennifer, let's talk a little bit different. Instead of a ritual, can you tell us, because this is a fashion event, is there something, some clothing, some earrings, something that you have that when you put it on, you feel empowered? And kind of tell us why. Color, texture.
Besides black, I'm all, which woman in here does not love black?
Yes.
I'm not. I'm
Is it a lipstick? Is it because fashion too, is it getting your makeup done, getting your hair done? Is there something like that,
for empowerment.
yeah.
I think that empowerment does come from confidence, and for me, I feel confident when I feel pretty, and so yes, definitely. I don't know how to work with my hair at all, so if anybody touches my hair that like knows how to do hair, I automatically, that's a boost for me.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't even have to be a professional hairstylist, just somebody who knows how to like touch hair. Because I'm like messy bun or ponytail. That's all I know how to do. Besides on my girls, I can do cute hairstyles on them, but not on myself. And makeup. And I've said it before. I've actually like not blogged, but posted about it. Like what wonders some makeup and an energy drink can do.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna invent that like combo kit one day, sell it on
I
like a
agree.
TikTok shop or something. Makeup and an energy drink, a Genergy drink.
No, I love it. You know what? I know Alex Lopez did your makeup today, and I think he touched up to your hair. And it's such a minor little thing, but we don't mind.
just does.
We don't mind feeling pampered. There's nothing wrong with it, and if sometimes you need to get that, I think it's important, to give you a little boost. Work from the inside out, and then it's icing on the cake, right? I think that's
And you know what? It's also about being okay with following the mood. Because some days I feel like wearing a pretty dress, and some days I feel like wearing my combat boots, and some days I combine both.
And you can, and I think
And
that's
that's
the fabulous
okay.
part, that you can, and you feel comfortable in it. I
And,
think that's the
and
most.
we have tenemos el derecho de hacer eso, ¿por
Sí.
qué no, right? Like,
Claro.
I mean, we're not always in the same mood, so what makes me feel empowered or beautiful one day may not be what makes me feel empowered or beautiful the next.
Yep, that's exactly right. I tell people that Latina, Mexicana, and as I grew up, we never left the house without a little perfume and without our earrings. That's like my go-to all the time. As a very funny, yesterday I was running around and I forgot to dab a little perfume. And we had here Gio from Saks, and I called him, "You've got something on you, right? Because I've got to put a little something." Luckily, he had Tom Ford, and it worked out very well. But for me, that's kind of my little go-to.
That is so funny that you say that, because my mom always said lipstick and mascara, and she would always, like, since I was younger, like, put a little lipstick on, put a little mascara, and I'm like, I don't want to put my lipstick or mascara. That didn't make me feel.
But the scent lifts your mind too, which is very important. I never thought about it.
The scent, yes, absolutely. But it's funny that you say that, because I was actually just talking about how I used to have a complete like perfume collection of like 60, 70 perfumes, and I always forget to wear them. I buy perfumes because I love them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be my signature scent. I'm gonna wear it everywhere I go. People are gonna recognize it. They're gonna know it's me coming when they smell that. And I never wear it. I never wear it. I have full bottles of perfumes. I've gone on a kick recently where I've bought like more perfumes, and I'm like, oh, this smells so good, and I don't wear it. I forget.
No, I love it though. But I'm curious. I want all of you to think of what is one of those little things, right? That you do. It's a little ritual that you might have, and it's just a click to the brain, just a reminder to the brain, about being a woman and feeling great about yourself, because we all should do that. So this is going to be the last question, but what I'm going to do before I ask the last question, which will be the same to all of them, I'm going to take 3 questions from the audience, one for each person. So if someone would like to ask a question to Jasleen, just like to come up and come on. Does anybody have a question for Jasleen Gonzalez? I think Alina, my daughter, might, because she started modeling. Come on. This is my daughter, by the way, Alina. Gracias. So I've got to tell you, thank you. I always put her on the spot. She's my daughter, so I could do that. And it's a lot of fun for me because for the last couple of years, she helps behind the scenes. And this year, she actually got to model. She modeled out in New York Fashion Week. So that's why I'm going to give you a question for Jasleen.
Actually, all of you can potentially answer this, but something that I struggle with is having confidence, especially in front of crowds. What is something that you all, and especially Jasleen, yeah, thanks so much, Mom. But what is something that you do, especially, you're in such a celebrity status role that gives you like confidence and empowers you before you're in front of a crowd or, on stage?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Effortless beauty requires a lot of work, especially in your confidence. So when I go on a runway or when I do a photo shoot, I want to be as effortless as possible. I don't want to come off as prideful and too confident, right? So think of more of like your essence, right? What are your strengths? Is it your posture? Is it the way you speak? Is it the way you smile? Is it your body language? Think on those things, right? And then you work on them consistently so it becomes effortless. And you're confident. You're just confident in them. I'm confident in these cheekbones. I'm confident on my booty chin. I'm confident in my figure. But because these are things that I practice in front of the mirror, I've constantly have challenged myself through photo shoots and different ways of like posing. Again, it's consider willpower like a muscle. Right? You can constantly have to flex it. You have to make it stronger. And that's what you have to do with confidence. You start small, but then like a muscle, you keep growing it. And by the time you know it, you're walking into a place effortlessly full of confidence.
I love that. Thank you so much. That was great. See, Alina, that's why I throw you in, so you can practice your muscle. Thank you. I love you, honey. I love you. Okay, a question for Jennifer Pena. One person gets a question for Jennifer Pena. I think Elba. I'm going to ask Elba. So Elba is a leader here. By the way, Jennifer, I don't know if you got a chance to meet her, but she runs one of the largest non-for-profits here in the city, and she's very well known and very involved politically. So I'm just calling on people because I can.
I did.
Don't give me a mic because you know I'm going to call on you. By the way, thanks to all of you that wore pink. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arabel. Thank you, all great panelists. But I feel like Sisiki in terms of, they have the day where you don't have to talk.
I know. I'm like, wow, nice.
But yes. Yeah. Oh well. It was a great night last night. My question to Jennifer and all panelists is that if there was something that you would tell your 18-year-old self, what would that be? Because 18 is kind of that, coming of age, getting into adulthood. With all your experience now, especially as a mom, what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
That was only a few years ago anyway, so you should
Yeah. Very good question. Because, especially because I have a 15, almost 16-year-old son that's going to be 18 soon. I think, gosh, I could go so many directions with this. I think I would say it's almost as if the decisions that you make today are not going to matter in the future, but they do. But they do, because they mark your tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. So it's like you can look back and be like, gosh, that decision that I made 18 years ago never really came back to bite me in the butt, but it did somewhere. It did somewhere, because it marked you somehow, and it marked people around you somehow. So it's like almost, don't take life too serious, but take it serious, because it matters. And most importantly, that matters isn't what you do, it's how you treat people.
Love that. Love
It's
that.
how you treat
Yeah.
people.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Good question, by the way. That was going to be my closing question, Elba, but I just don't.
I would like to say,
So then let us all answer it, because she did say for everybody.
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
I would like to say, if there is anyone here that's like 18 or younger, so I do a lot of my program in high schools, and there is an issue that I've been seeing with 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, is that they don't know how to define beauty. Especially with social media now, they self-scrutinize themselves. So that's why there's mental illness happening, there is suicide happening within the demographic of teens. And I would tell my 18-year-old self is to define beauty for myself and don't let others define it for me.
Love that. Thank you.
Because, beauty, just to add one little thing, beauty is an abstract idea. It's in your imagination. It's simply an idea. Have you ever heard of beauty is in the eye of the beholder?
Yes.
So like what she thinks is beautiful is not what I think it's beautiful. What she thinks is beautiful, I might not think it's beautiful. You have to define beauty for yourself. And there is beauty in everything. And imagine the beauty that's within you. Right? And there's so many, it's not physical. Yes, there is beauty physically.
It's energy.
Yeah, but you can be like, that's pretty. Beauty is different.
Different. Yeah.
Yes.
For everybody.
It's like, it's grand,
Thank you. Siki, do you want to answer that, or do you want to
Deeper.
finish it?
Yeah, I like what you said also, Jennifer. You said don't take yourself too seriously, but do take yourself. I think it's about being cognizant. At the age of 18, and this is something that is changing generation after generation, we make a lot of decisions that we have no idea they're going to have an impact in our lives. What would I say to my 18-year-old self? I will tell myself to take things easier on me, to not be so hard on myself, to enjoy life more, but then at the same time, make sure that your parents and your family are happy and that they are the priority in your life. Because at the end of the day, family is, to me, the most important thing. We forget about it sometimes. We go about our business and family stays, to the side. And I think we're losing that as generations come and change all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting, as you're all talking about that, especially, I love that. Especially Jennifer, when you mentioned take it seriously, but not, and it's hard now, right? Because before, when you were 18, nobody had cameras, nobody had Instagram, no one was recording this, and now, someone's recording everything, and so it will come back.
Even when they weren't, you're impacting the people
You're
around
impacting
you.
people.
So
And
that's why I said the way you treat people matters,
Yeah.
because when that impact that you're making, whether it was recorded or not, it marked one person.
Yeah.
And it could have marked them in a positive or
Kindness.
negative way.
Kindness is so important, right? So, Siki, you want to take one more question? Sure. Okay. Wanna come up
Be
here?
easy on me.
Please tell us. Be kind, no. Please introduce yourself.
Claro. Hola, mi nombre es Maria. So I am a Midwestern University student. I'm a second year in the clinical psychology program.
Yay!
So you mentioned that you are starting a podcast to kind of add that dynamic, I guess, of just perspective for information. So I guess my question for you and for everyone would be, how would you describe the dynamic of empowerment with the power of information?
I love the question. Tu nombre María, ¿verdad? Okay, I love the question, María, because that's been my speech in the past TEDx talk that I did here in Chicago. And it was the power of information. How do you make it impactful for your own life? And coming from the news industry and being, a journalist for such a long time, I'm glad that you notice how important information is and how impactful it is as to what we read, where we read it from, and how much that changes our brain and the way we perceive life. That's exactly the podcast that is going to be launched, not one, it's a group of different podcasts that I'm doing in Mexico. El impacto de estos podcasts es para la gente que vive en Estados Unidos, que son los latinos, y que necesitan no solamente de información, but actually news that you can use. It's not just about reading the news or watching the news. It's about what kind of news are you putting in your mind, and what is that information doing to your mind and the way you go about life. I believe that the hacks, the tools, the tricks that a lot of the Latino families need in the US, we're not getting it with the right information, porque estamos hablando de digital era, right? Tenemos tanta información y tanta saturación de datos. Some of them are important, some of them are not. And I think the way you choose the information that you feed your mind with is what's going to make it or break it. Does that answer it? Gracias, mija.
Great question. Thank you so much. So, ladies, fantastic. Can you give them a big round of applause? Weren't they amazing? I don't know about you. I learned a lot, and a lot of insight. Thank you for
I
opening
did too.
up.
Thank
No,
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Thank you
opening
for
up
all
and
of
really
you guys.
sharing. I think.
Arabel,
it's so
you did
important.
an amazing job.
Will you hire
Wow.
me? Will you hire me for the podcast?
Absolutely. Me encantaron las preguntas. I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do want you to leave all of us with one message that would help empower us more, that would help motivate us more. Just one. If you were to give us one suggestion from each and every one of you of one thing to either think about, to either say, or to either do, can you choose whatever you want? Give us one thing so we can leave with that. Sure,
Yo puedo
I can
comenzar,
start
sí.
Siki.
Yo puedo comenzar diciendo, como lo comenzaste diciendo tú, Arabel, ¿no? We all go through certain days that are good, certain days are not so good. Y todos, absolutamente todos, we go through that. And the reason I say that is because sometimes it's not about being strong, or sometimes it's not about forgiving. Sometimes it's just about being yourself without criticizing others or without thinking, oh, Arabel no me respondió la llamada, o Arabel no me llamó de regreso, or having that kind of mentality. That kind of mentality of entitlement drains us, okay? Entitlement because, oh, my sister did this to me, or I'm gonna forgive her. No, it's not about thinking about forgiving. It's about letting people be who they are, respecting them, but more importantly, for me, is seeing the good in every single person. That takes away from any draining or any thing that I have to think, oh, Titiki, you have to look good, o déjame ponerme la faja porque me sale la lonja. No, stop. Y sí me la pongo, pero a veces no me funciona. Pero what I start thinking most of the time is, how do you walk inside a room and you see the good in everybody and how you can learn from everyone? Claro, you have to put boundaries many times with certain people. Pero en general, let's not try to be confident. Let's try to see the good in others, and that's just going to give you the empowerment that you need.
It's going to bring a lot of confidence to you, too. Thank you so much for that. God, all of you look even so much better than before. No. Thank you. Jennifer.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna keep it super simple. I'm gonna say smile smile more. And kind of jumping off of what she said, like, yeah, we have our bad days and our hard days. Find something to smile about. Find something that makes you smile and be grateful for, because that we all have. We have plenty of things to be grateful for. So live life in gratitude and smile. Smile even though you're aching. Smile even though it's breaking.
Love that.
I don't even remember the words to that.
It made me
If
smile. Big round
you
of applause.
just smile.
I love it. Thank you.
I would say my message would be to never give up. I think as a Latina or Latino, you should be aiming really high, because there is room for you up there. And if you fall, you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep going.
Y
I
se
love
puede.
that.
Si se puede.
Hey, ajustate la corona. That's a line that I use in my song. We are all, speaking to women particularly, we are all queens. Men, you are all kings. So when you have a hard day or whatever, ajustate la corona. Get
Love
back
it.
up.
Thank you.
Move right
Let's give
on.
them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. And you're going to be around a little bit, right, if people want to take some pictures and ask you some more questions. But thank you so much. Big round of applause. Thank you. That was great, wasn't it? Did you get some good tips and feel empowered? So this is what we're going to do. We've all had kind of a long weekend, and I think there's some more refreshments. Stick around, network, and I think we're going to wrap up. So let's do that, okay? Thanks so much.